Hello, welcome everybody to another modern video. I am on a domain roll, okay? So we're going to be trying out the other domain card that I'm very interested in seeing how it plays out. We're talking about Shadow Prophecy. This is a card that when I first read it, I was very impressed because of a couple of reasons. Number one, let's read the card first. So Shadow Prophecy, 2 and a black, it's an instant. And then you look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the number of basic land cards among lands you control. You put 2 of them into your hand and the rest in your graveyard. You lose 2 life. So there are a lot of things going on here. Number one, this sort of effect, every time we've seen it before, it's been a sorcery. And the difference between this being a sorcery and an instant is absolutely massive for obvious reasons, right? Like if you're playing a control mirror or something like that, being able to do this in your opponent's end step is a huge deal. If you're playing against an aggressive deck and you don't know if you need to be, they're going to deploy a threat or something like that that you need to answer. If they don't do anything or they try to play around your removal, you can just punish them by drawing 2. Also, in a deck that is ready to enable it, this is basically a 3 mana, look at the top 5 cards of your deck and choose 2 of them, which is Dig Through Time, which is a card banned in Modern. So this card is very, very strong. Like there's no denying that, particularly in a format like Modern where, it's very, very easy to enable because of fetch lands and Triumph. So I think that this is a piece of the puzzle that it's potentially hard to crack, but the power level is there, and that's what we're going to be looking at today. This is a deck list by a friend of mine called More to Light, an Argentinian streamer. You can check out his stuff. But yeah, so this is what we'll be looking at. It's a Yorion deck, and lots of stuff that we're already used to: Prismatic Ending, Lightning Bolt, Abundant Growth, Red and 6, Ice Fan Quaddle. All of these cards we already know why they're here. However, we're trying to play this in a control shell, so we have access to Counterspell, which is very nice. And then you're going to see cards like Lightning Helix and Kaya's Guile. And obviously the reason for this is in order to help offset the life loss from Shadow Prophecy. We also can gain life thanks to Omnath, Locus of Creation, and a fun of Soul of Windgrace. This card, Jaunt Colors, if you are checking out my content, you have seen me building around this card already. Obviously, the reason why we're playing all of these domain decks is because Leyline Binding is a messed up magic card. It has enabled a bunch of new archetypes, and this is just one more of them. And then rounding things out, we have Solitude, Fury, and again, as I was saying, we're a control deck, so we have some Supreme Verdicts to go along with everything else. The mana base is 15 fetch lands, a bunch of Triumphs and Shock lands, and 1 of Boseiju and 1 of Otawara. We are, of course, a Yorion deck, so we get a bunch of value thanks to Abundant Growth, Quaddle, like a bunch of things that are very, very juicy to be blinking. So we also have access to Cyborg, Flusterstorm, Force of Vigor, Endurances, Veil of Summer, an extra Supreme Verdict, and then Chalice and a More Ego. All cards that are very reasonable and very common to see, with the exception of a More Ego, but the reason that we don't see a More Ego more often is because no decks can cast it. So we're a deck that can cast a More Ego. Obviously the card is very, very strong against decks like Amulet, against any Cascade decks. So we're going to be running this deck through a Modern League, so hopefully we will we'll see how strong this card actually is. I'm very, very interested in checking it out. So, yeah, see you there. Thank you for watching, and if you're interested in supporting the stream, you can do so through Patreon, by booking coaching sessions with me, or simply by doing a donation where I can play any decks of your choosing if you make a donation of $30 or more. So really, really good deal. Yeah, let's do it. Let's play some matches. Okay, what do we got here? This hand's kind of a banger, right? Let's keep it. So we can go turn 2 Ren, or potentially turn 2 kill something. Seems good to me. I think I'm gonna go Wooded Foothills, and I think I'm getting Sanders Lounge here. Although I guess if I do get Sanders Lounge, then we're not gonna be able to cast Helix on 2. I think I'm gonna go for. This is so close. So it's between Rogin Triumph and Sanders Lounge. So the question is, what if my Ren gets counter? Would I rather cast Lightning Helix or Shadow Prophecy? I think the answer is Shadow Prophecy, and if I can cast Shadow Prophecy, then that can draw me into what I'm missing. So hopefully this run resolves and I don't need to choose. That would be great. Excellent. Perfect. Just like we drew it up. Turn to rain in the Orion deck. What else could you ask for? We could be playing against another deck that's running... oh, okay. So I guess this is not a Leyline Binding deck. It is a 4-color deck. Desert... Oh, that's what this deck is. That's what this deck is. The garbage deck. They reveal Calibrated Blast. Dude, like, this deck is like such a joke. This deck is just such a stupid joke. I hate it. I hate it with a passion. So we get Sacred Foundry. Game 4, exile the graveyard. Seems good to me. Sacred Foundry, yes. Plus, and I want to do this, I guess, right now. Exile or graveyards, you gain 4. I get all of opponent's graveyards. There we go. And they revealed this, but they put it in the bottom, so that was a clutch draw. Also, it's nice that now we can Helix and go up to 20 again. So that's fun. I think I just want to plus and play a tapped land and say go. And I'm going to Shadow... I guess I want Helix before Shadow Prophesying, because my life total does matter. I could just cycle Triumph. 4 mana. Socken Sun. I imagine they're going to go after the Renin 6. So, because if I ever get to ultimate this, they're toast. So here's a Lightning Helix. I am going up to 20. I guess I want to... Do I want to plus this? I could... No. Let's just go Prophecy. Look at the top 5 cards. See what we find. So we can get Counterspell and Omnath. Yeah, that seems good. Ping there. Then we're going to play a tapped land. I guess I want to play with Foothills so that I can fetch for Roggen Triumph. And then we can start just gaining life every turn with Omnath. I think this game is locked up now, if I'm not mistaken. White, blue, Omnath. Huh. Okay. Interesting timing with that fetch. Okay. I guess I don't have any more blue lands here. Slightly awkward. I mean, the thing is that it doesn't really matter, because there's nothing I have to counter anymore. Because now we're just going to gain enough life that their deck just doesn't function. I think the game is locked up now. I guess they can double counter. They can have like 2 Calibrated Blast in hand and cast both in the same turn. That is how I lose. Yeah, I think this locks it up. Let's try him up to 25, and now we just have Counterspell up. So that's that. Do I want to like start getting frisky here? The thing is that there's no need for me to do anything crazy. I can just chill. Discard this Shadow. I guess I'm gonna discard Ren. Socken Sun. Sure. Just gonna discard the Supreme Verdict. Point attacks. Both at Ren. Let's see what's up. Boom. Block you. Oh, that's hilarious. Just gonna bounce it. That is very funny, actually. Alright, so there's that. I'm just gonna cast Shadow Prophecy because I'm gonna go above 30 life next turn. Bolt and Omnath. Tap. So many Shadow Prophecies. So little time. Land. I think I'm swinging. And if my opponent blocks, I just play a second Omnath. The most suspicious attack of all time. Though now that I think about it, it's actually better to just play Fury, like just play Fury and Bolt this thing. Or I can just like Teferi minus. The world is my oyster kind of deal. Opponent takes it. What a champion. So let's fetch. for Stomping Ground, cast Fury, 4 damage, Bolt, and can hold up double counter spell. I think I'm just gonna do this, and plus. Here we go. This has been garbage time for at least 2 or 3 turns, so at least 2 or 3 turns that has been garbage time. Okay, so now Fluster is good, and more ego obviously pretty stellar, and Chalice, I guess technically I can Chalice on 3, but probably not what I want to be doing. Prismatic Ending, that does literally nothing. Endurance can potentially be impactful. It's a threat I can deploy at instant speed. It's probably better than Lightning Bolt and Fury. Helix is good because it gains life, as we saw in that game. Maybe solo Wingrace can go. Leyline Binding can target the Draco though, so I think I do like Leyline Binding. Actually, they can get rid of Leyline Binding, which is a little bit awkward. Maybe I should cut this Supreme Verdicts. Fury and this. Yeah, let's go with that. I can reassess for game number 3 if things don't work out. Seems like a good keep. Seems like a pretty decent keep. Turn 1 Sounders Lounge. Turn 2 we can fetch if we want. Hold up counterspell for the entirety of the game. Feels pretty good. Solitude is a way to race, which I like. It's also a way to beat their turn 2 dude, which I guess is what's happening here. Okay, that's fine. I guess I want to fetch for Hallowed Fountain. Hallowed Fountain, yes. Leyline Binding. Here go. They could have land Calibrated Blast, but I think that I'm doing this regardless, because otherwise I'm taking 4 for free from the Draco, and I'm not interested at all in that. Sun-Scorched Desert. That's a ping. They have it, it looks like. Are they gonna whiff? Shadow of Mortality. That is that 15? That is 15. Okay. Nephalia Academy. Okay, weird. I'm gonna continue making my land drops because I can draw Helix and that allows me to gain life and then I can fetch. But I'm not gonna make any land drops now because I want to hold this for Omnath. That's a funny draw. I guess if I'm gonna have to go to discard, I'm gonna play the land instead of just going to discard. Oh, now they can just ram it up. Whoops. Alright, they got me. They had the turn 2 Scion into... Oh, whoops. I mean, I was dying to the ramming up anyway, so it doesn't really matter, but... Okay, game 3. Leyline's probably better than Force, so I think this is just fine. I'm not digging the bolts. Helix is fine, and so is Guile. Not digging the bolts though. Okay, what is this? I think I'm keeping this. The fairy seems pretty decent. So this is gonna be... Oh, I can't get Sounders Lounge. Awkward. So I can't get a black source of a Winds of Heath. I guess Overburn Tomb is my black source. No, but definitely double blue is better than the black source. I guess not with the Shadow Prophecy. Wow, that's awkward. I honestly, I didn't really think about that. Yeah, I guess I have to go for Overburn Tomb. Wow, that's really, really awkward. Super punished. Oh no. This is the worst. Please play a dragon on turn 2. Please play a dragon on turn 2. Boseiju. Okay. Oh, hallelujah. Oh yes. Calibrated Blast I would like to name. Yep. Exile that one. Exile that one, and that one too. Oh, what a deck. What a deck. 4 cards have been exiled. Your go. Your go. Also, they just showed me that they drew a Scalding Tarn, because that was not in their hand. They should have played the Arid Mesa, obviously. Okay, so... miss a land drop. So I think I want a Shadow Prophecy here. That's great. And I guess the question is, do I want to fetch or do I want Stomping Ground? I guess I want to fetch because it allows me to get the Triumph. On to the D plan, opponent. It's time for the F plan. Yep, that's the H plan, I think. And we're just gonna get a Roguing Triumph here. And we're just gonna play our good buddy, the Locus of Creation. Game 4, please. Thank you. Next turn we play Ren into Fetch Land. Oh yes, classic. Play second Boseiju. I respect it, opponent. Okay, I respect it. I respect it. Sure. I guess we're still playing this game. Why? I don't know, but I guess we're still playing this game. Do that. Blue 1, Teferi, minus fetch. Here we go. Oh no, Teferi. Not Teferi. Alright, draw a card. Like this is just, it just doesn't matter. I don't know why my opponent doesn't just concede. I guess they may do with their time whatever they please. They may do with their time whatever they please. It's definitely okay for them to do whatever they want. Minus on their thing, plus on the other thing. Nothing matters. Okay, there we go. Alright, see you next round. Alright. Kind of interesting that I forgot that we had Abundant Growth in the deck. we played many turns last match and we never saw an Abundant Growth. I'm gonna keep this hand though. Looks pretty good. We can go turn 1 Basic Forest Growth, turn 2 Hold Up Counterspell. It's not bad. Sacred Foundry. Sacred Foundry Shock, go. Okay. Still going for even more so after seeing that play, right? Like it could be burn. Blind Binding, okay. Lightning Bolt my face. Sounds good. If this is an Eidolon, so I guess there's really nothing that I'm countering here. Let's think. So there's no way that I can Leyline this turn because I have a basic forest. So that means that I want to... I guess I play Misty and say go. The problem with playing Misty and saying go is that I'm forced to counter at that point. Because then I'm going to Guile on 3 and I'm going to have to shock. So I think it's better for me to play a tapped Sacred Foundry and say go. If they have second Eidolon, we're probably dead. But if they don't have another creature, then we may be in a good spot. That's a Swift Spear. That's bad for me. Very bad for me. Very, very bad for me. All sorts of bad for me. So now I guess I go Basic Island, Guile, game 4, make you sack something, and I go down to 9 up to 13. Basic Island, sack a creature, game 4. And I think it's better to do it right now so my opponent doesn't, they don't play a Flurry of Bolts while I'm at 9 and make things awkward for me. What we can do next turn is we can Leyline Binding for only a single mana and then hold up Counterspell. And then that's going to be my plan. I can go tapped Overgrown Tomb, Binding plus counter. And if they don't do anything too good here, then what I can do is I can Omnath plus fetch on the following turn. So we're going to take 3 there, 6 down to 2. So I lose 20 spell now. Unless I draw Guile. If I draw another Kaya's Guile. I guess I can go to 1, but that doesn't really do anything for me. They're also missing land drops, so like whatever I do, I'm just dead, I think. I'm just gonna play a tapped land and say go. Yeah, this Eidolon was just too much. not having the answer. We needed to have the answer immediately. Oh, you know what could happen? I also just realized that I messed this up. I should have done this before, because now my opponent plays a spell and they force me to react. And I'm gonna shock. Like, I should have done this main phase, just targeting this. I guess that if they play any spell, I lose to the Swift Spear trigger anyway. But their hand could be 2 Searing Blazes, as far as I know. So I still need to draw like a Helix or something? I mean, they can blaze their own Swift Spear, but they don't. Huh. Okay. Oh, Rift Bolt! Oh my god, am I gonna get away with this? Oh, I'm gonna get away with this. I can't believe it. Why would they not main phase the Rift Bolt? I lose to the Prowess trigger. Wow, am I gonna... Oh my god. Blue, green, red, white. Land. Omnath into fetch land. Oh my god. Oh my god. And they didn't have a way to kill me last turn, right? Maybe I should have done it. I should have fetched on upkeep. No, but then I lose to Boros Charm if I fetch on upkeep, so that doesn't quite work. That is so crazy. That is so crazy. Eidolon. So now I fetch. Because they have only 1 mana, they can't kill me here. Get a Rogrin Triumph, game 4. Oh my god, that's insane. I feel like I'm getting away with something here. Woo! Woo! Ah, this is great. Oh my god. Oh, this is great. I would like to Fury your dudes, please. Also, they're they're at 1. Wow, I can't believe that worked out. I can't believe that actually worked out. Flusterstorms, get in there. And maybe Chalices? Shout out to Leyline Binding, jeez. Can we give a shout out to Leyline Binding? That was very nice. I think I'm gonna leave in 1 force, and this is because of the enchantment. Soul of Windgrace gains life, Lightning Helix gains life, Omnath gains life, Kaya's Guile gains life. It's kind of funny that because we are Shadow Prophecy deck, we have like a bunch of incidental life gain, and it does work out pretty well versus burn, so that's pretty funny. What a wild game 1. We're here for game 2, and this hand looks pretty solid, I think. We have some early interaction, and we have an end game, which is nice. Gobo. We're gonna take some damage though. Counterspell has been revealed. I think I'm gonna have to kill this. It's gonna be too much damage otherwise. So let's just Prismatic Ending this off of a Sacred Foundry. Yeah, Prismatic Ending. So this is bad versus turn 2 Rolling Vortex, but I think that's fine. Spike, Skewer. It's a lot of stuff. Have to play this stepped, say go. Kind of ogre. Hopefully they play a creature here. They could play 1/1 mana burn spell and I lose. But they play Golden Guide, which is exactly what I want to see. Flooded Strand? Excellent. Kill that. Alright. So we do untap. I think I'm gonna play Wrenn and hold up Fluster. Because my opponent didn't play anything else last turn, so I think that whatever they have in hand is an instant. And I can Fluster it. Oh, they just don't have anything? Well, I can work with that. Next turn I can hold up Counterspell. And then on the following turn I can Omnath plus fetch. I think that if they just play a 3 mana burn spell, I counter it just for mana efficiency. Yeah, I think this is fine. Huh. So it's not super likely they have any 1-drops left, but they could top deck them. And I don't think there's any 1-drops that I do care about. Blue, green, red, white. So I'm just going to get a basic plains. Fetch here, and I'm just gonna play a Chalice for 1. The problem is like the cards that we actually do care about are 2-drops, namely Skullcrack. So that's a little bit awkward. I mean, they know about this, so now we win. And I'm gonna do something a little bit weird here, and that is to play the land before the Omnath. And the reason to do that is because of specifically Path to Exile. Oh, never mind. I was playing around Path to Exile and I forgot to, that they literally have it's literally covered. So this is a bad play. Ignore me. I'm just an idiot. I mean, it was a good play to play around Path to Exile, but I don't have to because there's a freaking chalice in there. So obviously it was much better to not do that. Don't mind me. Don't mind me just out here playing poorly. Skullcrack. Oh no. So what's gonna happen now is I'm just gonna play the fairy plus on nothing. And I'm just gonna fetch on the return. Maybe I shouldn't. It's garbage time. Like I was gonna say maybe I shouldn't have attacked there, but like it's just garbage time. They can't beat this. They're locked out. All right, sweet. 2-0 beating Burn. Let's go. All right, playing against the master Menino Ney. His hand seems fine. Has a Teferi. Can never ship it. We also can. We have some pretty good redraws, and we're forcing the hand pretty effectively. In fact, we could hold up Guile to get a little bit cheeky in case he goes for it on turn 3. We can super blow him out thanks to Guile, assuming that we find a land drop, of course. Assuming we find a land drop. He moves to 6, and now we do the thing. Turn 1 Harvest, turn 1 Growth, turn 1 Steam Vents Grief. Well, I imagine it's gonna take the Teferi, which should leave us with the Prismatic Ending. Yeah, Teferi seems like too good. I think I'm just gonna put this in the same land. Can I get punished for that? I definitely don't want to put it in a fetch land because I want to fetch in case I draw a Renin 6. But I'm trying to think if there's. I think I want to fetch Rogin Triumph here. So I think I'm gonna do that. So fetch Triumph, put Abundant Growth over here. And we have a Bolt, whatever. Doesn't really do anything. Cycle Architects. So what I can do here is I can upkeep. Do I want to do that? Because if I do it on their upkeep, then I can get forced. That's going to exile Grief, Architects of Will, and Riverwinder. I'm probably going to gain 4 too. I guess it's better to, instead of gaining 4, I can. Ugh, this is so tricky. This is so tricky. I mean, the problem is that Menino is so good. That's the big problem. Like if I were playing against any random, just any random Living End player, I would just slam the Kaya's Guile, no big deal. But like because it's Menino, I think I'm gonna do this now. Exile all graveyards, and I guess I'm gonna gain 4. But this allows me to play around force. But the problem is like he can have the other thing, and I get blown out. Yeah, this is how I get punished for my play. Ice Fang. I don't even know what I'm looking for here. I know that Omnath is not the line. Leyline Binding. Okay, so that does something. Gets rid of the Waker of Waves. Makes things a little bit awkward for my opponent. Yeah. So he main face Outbursts, which is correct probably. So I'm gonna wait for him to Architects here, and then I'm going to Binding, and obviously I'm gonna shuffle. Binding the Waker of Waves, fetch, and I don't think I want to kill any of their threats, so I'm just gonna chill here. Get a Ketria Triumph, and tap. Oh, I'm gonna just slam this Omnath. White, red, green, blue. I'm hoping to find a land. If I find a land and I get to exile this thing, I feel like I'm kind of cooking. Main deck subtlety? Gross. So I'm gonna take 10? That's so much. I'm gonna top the Omnath though. Like there's no way that I don't top the Omnath. I guess got punished for not bolting the architects. So blue, white, green, red. Don't have another salty. No subtlety. Land. Ugh. So this is actually unblockable. That's a big deal. So like I'm gonna go to 1. We're gonna go to 1, and then I'm gonna have to. Nice. Woof. Dodge a bullet there. Okay, so I have to fetch here, basic forest, and Teferi minus on street wraith. I think so. Minus on street wraith. Red, green, white, blue. Prismatic ending for 4 here. Ooh, he cycles? That's kind of interesting that he cycles there, actually, because like Street Wraith. Oh, he can't hardcast it. Never mind. I'm an idiot. He actually literally can't hardcast it. My bad. Obviously, Menino knows what he's doing. I think I want to kill this now. Actually, we have 9 points of burn, but he just trades every time though. I think we just untap. That's a good reason to wait and see the draw step. So what could he have here? The whale doesn't do anything. He can't Brace and Borrower, and he can't Otawara here. Am I supposed to pitch Fury is the question. Am I supposed to pitch Fury instead of casting it? I think I want to do that. In case he finds a way to... Because like, if we actually get to do the thing, like, Omnath is going to be good enough to win. So I think that having the Fury there is good for me. Here we're just going to Helix the Architect. Not afraid of that. So this Teferi is not going to survive it. But he could have like Otawara Teferi or something. Or I guess like Boseiju, my Leyline Binding could potentially be a problem as well. Waker of Waves, which he could have hardcast that card. He could have hardcast Waker of Waves. So red and white. He concedes. All right. Got game 1. Obviously we have pretty decent sideboard cards. It's actually kind of funny how the bad cards ended up mattering a lot. Like the Prismatic Ending exiling the freaking... the Prismatic Ending exiling the 4-drop flyer, and things kind of worked out great, which you wouldn't really assume that would be the case, but everything just sort of lined up perfectly. I think we're going to cut 1 Shadow Prophecy. We're going to cut Soul of Windgrace. I kind of feel like I need the Verdict to sort of reset the board. Feels like a necessity. Solitude is obviously fantastic. Maybe Ren? No. Ice Fang trades with everything in their deck. I think I'm just gonna cut the Helixes. And maybe the Fury. I think cutting the Fury because I cut the bolts and the Helixes, so I have much less ways to actually pitch to it. And if I were to pitch the Fury, I would be pitching a real card like Omnath, which I'm more often than not, I'm not going to want to pitch. I mean, I'm 100% keeping this hand, right? There's no way I ever mulligan this. Okay. So we definitely want a black and a white source so I can Guile. So here goes black source. So that's gonna be... Oh, again, I made the same mistake I made earlier. I'm an idiot. So now I can't hardcast Endurance anymore. Unless I get Overgrown Tomb. So I guess we get Overgrown Tomb. That's gonna fix things. Grief, Peachy Leaving End. So I think I just let this resolve. Like, he's gonna take Endurance here, because it's the free interaction. But what I can do is I can then Verdict. I can set up a Supreme Verdict. So I think this is fine, because he's only going to be able to swing for 9, which is not lethal. Yeah, so there goes the Endurance. I imagine he's going to do this right now. He doesn't. Okay. There's Overgrown Tomb. He has Force of Negation? Huh. Okay. Pass the turn. So I guess he can do it on my end step and then have force backup. And then that makes it so... Okay, so I'm just going to Shadow Prophecy here. Just going to draw 2. And yeah. Dig Through Time. Yeah, all of these are good cards. So let's get Veil of Summer and... Actually, let's get Endurance and Veil. Endurance and Chalice. Okay. It's not bad. So... Play a green source. Here's a Chalice of the Void. He has to fetch for red. Force of Negation. Okay. So he did have the Force. So I can resolve Omnath now. Or I can resolve Endurance. I think I want to resolve Endurance. He could have Subtlety, but if he has Subtlety, then he has nothing else. So, yeah. So he just concedes 3-0. This deck is working out. Wow. This is the most beautiful sample hand ever. 2 land, 5 spells, 0 castables. Oh, this is a masterpiece. Oh, I love this. This is the kind of Twitter content that you can expect from me for sure. We're gonna mulligan this. Interesting. So I think I like this one. We're gonna keep it, and I think I want to bottom the Otawara, and then we can go turn 1 Sanders Lounge, turn 2. This can get a Temple Garden, and now we're set up for Leyline Binding, which is pretty nice. Alternatively, I can just like pass the turn, because I would like to have access to second blue because I'm playing Counterspell in my deck, obviously. Kitria Trio. Well, now I'm fetching Temple Garden. We could be playing against Rhinos. We could be playing against a variety of different decks here. Regardless, I don't think my play changes. I think my line is sort of the best possible. So, blue and green, play my Icewind Quaddle. I'm gonna hold on to this Boseiju, because again, we could be playing against Rhinos, and if we are playing against Rhinos, they could have Leyline Binding, so we're gonna do that. Blue, and do this. Okay. Let's see what my opponent does here. In fact, that would be like an absolutely insane blowout. Because I could Boseiju their Remand. Oh, it's Scapeshift. There you go. That's what it is. So that's pretty awesome. We could, like, if they were to Leyline Binding my Teferi, I can then interesting, going down? Weird. I can just completely blow them out. So let's go blue-red here, and I'm just gonna start hitting my land drops. I'm probably gonna save this counterspell for... Sure. Just gonna bolt my Wrenn. Iteration. Ugh, I think that's fine. I kind of feel like it's important to protect this Wrenn. Fire Ice. Okay. And then tap here. So they minus Wrenn for no value? Kind of surprised. Okay, so... Abundant Growth. Actually... So I can ping the Wrenn. Yeah, that seems good. So let's ping Wrenn, and then I can keep playing around my opponent's Remand. Because it's pretty obvious that they have Remand, right? They could have actually cast this Fire Eyes to draw a card, and they didn't. So 500% have Remand over there. It's nice that we have Leyline as an answer to Dryad. We have Counterspell as an answer to Scapeshift. And eventually, I guess we're just going to double Time Raveler at some point. So put that there. I guess we can also just start going ham with Boseiju. Yeah, we can't actually play that, unfortunately. But if my opponent's going to like not do anything with their mana, that's a game I can play. I think that's fine. So now I know, I actually know for a fact that they have Remand. So I'm going to attempt to cash this in here. My opponent should Remand their own Wrenn and 6. That's the correct line here. They Remand my Counterspell instead. Yeah, that's not very good for them. So now I get to Leyline Binding the Wrenn. And I get to resolve Omnath. So I also get to make a ton of mana. Blue, red, white, oh, green, white, red, Omnath, good land, that's pretty good. And now I can fetch for a basic island. Basic island. Resolve to fairy, blanking my opponent's romance, and hold up counterspell. Oh, Omnath, what an unreasonable magic card you are. What a stupid ass magic card you are. Yeah, my opponent messed up on that turn. They should have remanded their own Renin 6. Instead of just putting the counterspell back in my hand. It's also nice that we have Bossage to answer Dryad. I think iteration is fine. I'm just gonna fight over the cards that matter, which are 4. Oh, I guess I could actually naturally start Valakutting. I don't think that's gonna be enough. Ice my land. Floating mana. Gonna go to second main phase. Kind of funny that Bossage actually cost only 1. Yeah, basic island means that they can't Bossage Leyline Binding. Okay, seems fine. There's no spells that they can play here, so I'm just gonna get a Triumph. Gain some life. And then we're just gonna attack the Omnath, the Ren with Omnath. Sure. So, draw a card. Oh, I guess we can actually bounce our own Abundant Harvest, which is pretty hot. I want to make sure that I can hold up double counterspell, though, after I Yorion. So, kill Ren. Play land. How much mana do we have access to? This is going to be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's so much mana. It's just so much mana. So this is 8 mana and then double counterspell. So I guess I'm not supposed to bounce my own harvest, because I may just get blown out otherwise. No, because I don't... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they can double Scapeshift, and I don't have to actually bounce it. I can just Bossage a Dryad, so I think that I can afford to do this. Okay. Well, now I can just not Yorion. Like I'm just gonna Renin 6. No, but I think Yorion actually is worth it because it's 4 plus 4 plus 8. So I actually have lethal next turn. So I think this is fine. White, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I guess I'm gonna get a Steam Vents. I guess it needs to be a Bidding Pool, because it needs to be produce green so I can Bossage. And we get to draw 3 cards. Put that over there. That's fine. Seems like as good a spot as any. And now we have access to the Fairy in play, Counterspell, and Bossage. An opponent is at lethal range. They don't know that they're at lethal range because of they don't know about this Renin 6. Yeah, this Dryad we actually don't care about. Blue, counter target spell. Should be good enough. All right, sweet. So on MTGO can name lands. So we like in MTGO. Veil, Fluster are good. Bolt seems bad. Ending Answers Rams, I guess it's not the worst. Supreme Vertex seems bad. I think I'm gonna cut Fury, and I don't love Helixes, but I think that offsetting the Shadow Prophecy is gonna be relevant. That's one of the main reasons why I like Soul too. Also, just remember that for whatever reason my card shower was out. So I think I'm just gonna cut a Prismatic Ending there. Just submit this. Opponent with the 62 card special, because 61 was not good enough. You didn't need 62. That's a real number. Though to be fair, if there's one deck where you could actively want more than 60 cards, is Scapeshift. That's why one of the reasons why when Yorion became a thing, Scapeshift was one of the decks that was playing Yorion, and the reason was because a deck like Scapeshift always kind of wants to have more cards so that you can play more actual mountains, so that you don't run out whenever you're trying to kill using Scapeshift. What is this? Sure, let's keep this. So we can go turn 1 Triumph, turn 2 hold up counter spell, because I think this is a hand where I am countering the Dryad with. Put him moves to 6. Oh, that's very interesting actually. I think I'm gonna go for growth now that I saw this. It means that I can't rain on 2, which is a little bit awkward. But I think that finding a fetch land is pretty important. So digging 1 deeper towards the fetch land seems worth it. Somehow still can't cast Soul of Windrace. Okay. Pass the turn. So now we can counter. I'm gonna Fluster an Iteration, but I can also counter a Dryad if that's what my opponent does. Okay, so they just passed the turn of basic forest. Fetchland is a good draw. Fetchland is certainly a good draw. I think I'm playing Wrenn here. And I can do that with Fluster backup. Maybe they have Veil of Summer. But I think if they have Counterspell, it's going to be Dispute, Growth Spiral. Okay. I'm going to let them, because if they have Remand, I can just Fluster the Remand. It's bad into Dryad though, so I don't have an answer to Dryad just yet. Same targets, baby. The only legal target. I guess I could start countering my own Flusterstorms, technically speaking. Plus on my land, say go. One of the really funny things about Soul of Windrace is the fact that you can steal your opponent's lands. That's just hilarious, particularly against the Wrenn and 6 deck. It's actually relevant. Okay, so the one is not going to be missing any land drops. And I guess they're going to resolve a Dryad too, which is kind of brutal. Yeah. Wow, they play out the Triumph? Huh. Not sure I agree with that. I think I want to shock. And the reason for shocking is Otawara. Gonna get Overgrown Tomb. No, I actually want Sacred Foundry. Yeah. And then I can just get Overgrown Tomb next turn. They have 1 card in hand. They have 1 card left in hand. And I think on their end step, if they don't attempt to kill me, I'm gonna Prophecy. Okay, so now we know about Tarn. Going after Wrenn. Understandable. Shadow Prophecy. Gonna let that resolve. Huh, interesting. Well, I'm gonna take the spells and put the lands in my graveyard when I have an active Wrenn in 6. Now the question is, what do we do? Oh man, what a crazy turn. I really want to resolve the Fairy Time Raveler. So I think I'm going to be pitching. I really want to resolve the Fairy. This can't find the Hallowed Fountain. Misty can though. So I guess I'm going to get back Misty. And I'm probably going to be Solitude pitching Lightning Helix. So Wrenn 6 is not particularly threatening. Unless they have like a dispute or something. So play that. 1, 2, 3. Oops. Had to type that for white. There we go. Here's the Fairy Time Raveler. See, they don't have the Remand. That's very good. So I'm gonna Solitude now, pitching Lightning Helix. And the reason to do that is so I don't have to go to discard. If they play another Dryad, I later resolve, but obviously if they play Fury. Does Fury matter? I don't think it does enough. Sure. So they can minus to kill the Fairy. That sucks a little bit, but I don't think it's the end of the world. Okay. 1, blue, green, white, red. Omnath. Okay. Let's play a land. Fetch for Hallowed Fountain. Make some mana. Abundant. I guess I really want to fetch right now. The reason to fetch right now is, so I really want to fetch so I can kill the Wrenn 6 for free, because Omnath is an unreasonable magic card. So I think that we're just gonna do this. That kills Wrenn, and then this is gonna go there. This plus over here, and I guess I'm gonna cycle the Roguing Triumph. That sucks. So I'm gonna have to trade Omnath for Fury, which I don't love, but it's fine. I think it's just way too important not to be straight up dead to Scapeshift. 6 mana. Okay, so they do have Scapeshift. If they have Veil, I lose. No, I don't really have any other choices. Oh, just resolves. All right, sweet, great. sounds good. Like, glad that we're cool on that. I guess I could just stake it. They can't lethal me from here. We just take 6, and then we just slowly start recouping. So it's kind of fine. I can soul my opponent's Misty Rainforest. Kind of love that. Fetch, lounge, black. Man, this Otawara is basically free. It's just a free Otawara. So we can gain a significant amount of life here. Guess it's not that much right now. I can only gain 6. But we can gain some life if we wanted to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Swing for 4 with the Nath. And I think we are dead to Scapeshift. I don't think we can beat Scapeshift here. So if they have another one, we're dead. Dryad, we don't care about. Dryad, we just don't care about. They pass the turn. Well, that's game. Alright, sweet. And I'm just gonna kill the Fury because we can just, you know, this Dryad just jump blocking. Oh, we actually just have lethal. Sweet, awesome. Alright, 4-0. Let's see if we can get that trophy. See you next round. Alright, for all the marbles versus Obosh. I think we keep this hand. I have to be scared of Blood Moon. But that's really it. I don't think I'm scared of anything else. We do have our basic forest here. Okay. Probably gonna get Rogin Triumph here. It's kind of awkward. Because I really want to get Rogin Triumph. I think I'm getting it regardless. But now on turn 2, if I get Rogin Triumph, I cannot Icefang Coatl. So, kind of awkward, unless I find a fetch land. I don't. So I guess I have to play out the Otawara, unfortunately. Because I can't beat Blood Moon. Alright. Do you have the Moon opponent? Chandra Dress to kill. Does that even matter? Yeah, I guess it does. I guess it's good enough to counter. I feel like if I could avoid countering it there, I would. Now the question is, do I want to play Icefang or do I want to get Rend going? I think I'd rather have a Rend going so that I have guaranteed land drops. Though maybe playing Icefang is better because it potentially draws me closer to finding the colors that I'm missing. I really don't want to see Blood Moon. That's the only card that I probably can't beat. Unless I naturally find the Boseiju. Yeah. Maybe I should have let the Chandra resolve Boseiju one time. Solitude. Okay. So that's the turn. I guess I can naturally find the white source. If I naturally find the white source, we're in business because I just like mining this. Stomp my dude. Okay. And bolt my ram. Okay. I mean, that's a fine exchange for me. Don't care too much about that. White source. That's not it. Okay. We can draw Fury. That would be really nice. Fury is a nice draw. Gonna Solitude here. Pitching Super Verdict. Just obviously we can't beat if this Ragavan if it gets going. Waiting till attack step, obviously, to play around my opponent having drawn a top deck dashed monkey. I think I'm saving the second Solitude for the Obosh as opposed to the Bone Crusher. But yeah, we don't have that many good draws at this point. In our 67 card deck. Oh, I guess that we can find Abundant Growth. Yeah, that's a good one for them. That's an above average one for them to have there. Abundant Growth. Fetch land. Not quite. Not quite. Chandra is a problem. That one's gonna be a clock. And my opponent gets to double spell here. They also get to play the Bone Crusher. It's pretty strong. Alright. Abundant Growth. Basic Forest. Those are the cards I'm looking for here. I guess not basic forest, basic plains. That's what I meant to say. I'm gonna have to Solitude the Bone Crusher, I think, to buy myself a little bit of time. Probably gonna pitch Yori onto it. Opponent pinks me and stomps. Solitude, pitch Yorion. It's not looking great here. Not looking particularly great. Actually, if my opponent draws a land, they can just like Obosh and put in hand and play it in the same turn. They choose to go for Season Pyro instead. White source. Okay, at this point I just don't have enough. Like my opponent's gonna have too much stuff in play, so I don't think that continuing to play makes any sense at all. So Force of Vigor seems good, and I think that's it. To be honest, like I feel like we should be advantage in this matchup. It's just that I need to draw the right cards. That's basically what it comes down to, really. And by that I mean I need to not get Blood Moon. I think 2 Verdicts is fine. I probably don't want the... actually, they seem to be pretty creature heavy. I still think I don't care that much. Flusterstorm doesn't counter enchantment, otherwise I would bring it. Like if I had Spell Pierce, I think I probably would have it, would bring it in. Alright, now this hand is very good against Blood Moon. This hand kind of doesn't care at all about Blood Moon. So I love that. The question is, do I think I turn 1 Katria Triumph, and then turn 2 I just double Abundant Growth. And there's nothing I'm counterspelling on turn 2, which is nice. So that feels good. Nice. Yeah, so this hand is the best anti-Blood Moon hand ever. Very nice. Yep. What is a Blood Moon anyway? What is a Blood Moon? Dashed Monkey? Is that just fine? I think that's just fine. I mean, it can flip exactly... what, Prismatic Ending or something? Soul of Windgrace? No! The jig is up. Jig is up. Okay, it's a good one. I think if my opponent has Blood Moon, I don't even counter it. Like I don't think I care about that. I can just bounce. I can bounce it with Tef. Have a million ways to play around it. The only awkward thing is that my Ice Fang is not going to be death touchy anytime soon, but whatever. Hardcast Monkey. That is good. Now what? 3 mana. Chandra Dress to kill. That I kind of do care about. Can counter that. That means my turns are a little bit awkward, but I guess that's fine. Okay. I feel like this is one of... man, it's kind of awkward because there's a little bit of tension between... I want to fetch my... yeah, there's a little bit of tension here. Like, cause I do want to get a Sanders Lounge in play so that I can... so that I can get my cards for cheaper. Okay, so I think we're just gonna Helix this monkey when we go to combat. And I kind of don't care about anything they could resolve, I don't think. White and red. Helix your monkey. Sure, they could have something like Season Pyro, that would be kind of annoying. But I honestly don't think it's that big of a deal. And again, a card like Blood Moon just doesn't do anything at all. It's a little bit of a double-edged sword, right? Oh, that does matter. That definitely does matter. So I'm gonna minus because I'm looking for a land. And I think I want to minus on that one, because it's the one that I don't want them to kill. That's very funny, actually. Alright, so if they have second pillage, they win, probably. That is... I don't think that's a good card to bring in against the... Sure. I don't think that's a good card to bring in against the Ren and 6 deck. What do I know, though? Oh, brutal. Okay, I mean, I'm still gonna do this because I have to hit my land drop. But I'm probably not gonna play the other one if I can avoid it. Land drop. Oof. Alright. Got there. Is my opponent really that hard on the Blood Moon plan? Oh, I misclicked. Whoops. Well, that was a pretty bad misclick. I wanted to play the Ice Fang. Wow, they're super on the Blood Moon plan. I mean, I guess it's gonna work because of that misclick. Brutal. Wow. Okay. Prismatic Ending the Monkey. I mean, I should not be having to do this. Like, that misclick is gonna be quite costly, unfortunately for me. Wow. The good old Blast Zone plus Blood Moon combination got me real good there. We're still not out of it. We have a bunch of different good draws at this point. Force of Vigor. That's not one of them. Solitude kills the Obosh, which is nice. We have 2 forces. We have... Yeah. I'm gonna wait until my turn before I Solitude, but I'm gonna Solitude before they untap, because otherwise their Lightning Bolts are gonna deal more damage. I think I'm cycling that, because there's very few cards that matter at this point, I think. Okay. Pitching Kaya's Guile, I think. Basic Highland wins, because I just Teferi minus. You have nothing? Oh, just drew a land. Ren and 6. It's not it. And are we really gonna get Blood Moon twice in a row? Soken Sun? Wait, those have haste. Why wouldn't they just maybe face those? Weird. Alright. Can I find any of my cards before it's too late? Season Pyromancer. Yeah. It's pretty good. That is pretty good. Wow, they're not playing Second Moon? Well, that doesn't matter because we can Solitude. Oy. Man, we have so many cards that save us here, but I guess we're paying the price of the 80 card deck. That Blast Zone is so weird, but I guess it got us good. Unfortunately, I do think we have to kill the Magus here. We can't actually get rid of the Squee. I think we do have to kill Magus. Oops, almost misclicked there. So we probably have this turn to draw the card. Can we survive one more turn? Maybe not. Maybe we're just too low with life total at this point. Alright. Wow. Feels like we got cheesed out by the Blast Zone plus Blood Moon combo. But well played by opponent. Well played by opponent. And I guess that the pillage did matter. Like, we didn't, like, at any point we could have drawn a Brennan 6 while we could cast it, and then the pillage looks bad, but my opponent had a very clear game plan. They're like, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna beat you by locking you out with Blood Moon, and they executed it well. So I much respect it. At least, like, it looked weird, but it did work out. I don't know if it's correct to do what they did, but it definitely worked out. So well played to them. Okay, let's wrap this up. I was surprised by the deck. Like, it runs super smoothly, and it felt like it had the tools for everything, which I really liked. And I was surprised that we beat Scapeshift. Like, that matchup is supposed to be really bad, but it did not feel like that at all. Like, it somehow felt like we were in control of the situation. And like, it's not like we didn't have like an easy win with that more ego and just call it a day. Like, it felt like we were overall in control of the situation, with the exception of like 1 or 2 turns where we would have died specifically to Scapeshift, but I feel like it was somewhat well navigated. Besides that, Soul of Windrace should probably be something else. I don't know what it should be, but it should probably be something else. Maybe it should be a second Fury, or maybe this deck should just not be playing Fury at all, because it's not like you have many cards to pitch to Fury. But this league was fun. This league was fun, albeit a little bit long, but that's kind of what you sign up for whenever you register You're on the Sky Nomad. It was a good time though. Like, I'm probably gonna keep working on this deck because I think this card is just very good and extremely underplayed. In this format specifically, I don't think that it's as good as in other formats, but in Modern specifically, I think that Shadow Prophecy is just an absolute banger. So I mean, I guess it's a banger because Leyland Binding is also a card. So, like, these two in combination are very good. So I do like how this deck is built with ways to offset the life loss. So, like, all of this incidental life gain really felt like it rounded up the deck very nicely. So I did enjoy that a lot. That's gonna be it for me today, though. So thank you for watching very much. If you're enjoying the content, make sure you hit the like, subscribe button, and leave a comment down below as well. And finally, if you would like to support the content, you can do so by checking out the Patreon, by booking coaching sessions if you're interested in studying with me. And finally, you can also just make a donation to the stream, and I can make a video with the deck list of your choice. So that's all the information in the description of the video down below. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Take care, folks. Bye bye.